Hi, I'm Alex from the Southern Ukulele Store, and it's been a while. I needed a few weeks off. After filming the top 10 of the year video and editing that together, I needed to decompress. So I decided to, running a retail shop during Christmas is definitely the way to decompress. It's been lovely and busy, but it's meant that I haven't been able to do as much of this kind of thing. And this kind of thing is so important, especially when there's lots of new releases, which there were. There were loads of new releases from different brands over Christmas, and many of them didn't arrive until like the 23rd of December. So what are you going to do? So I'm here today to talk about Flight, but in the weeks to come, the days to come, I need to talk about Ukulele's new releases. El Luthia have a new release. Carla Revelators arrived. We had some Fana ukuleles arrive. Just so many things that need to be talked about. But the new releases that I think need to take priority are from Flight. We are going to look at 8 ukuleles today, of which 5 of these I don't think we've ever featured before. A lot of them were released at the same time. Flight going bananas for Baritones in the second half of 2024. We might have even had quite a bit of influence in that because the baritone sales have been just massive the last 2.5 years. Baritone ukuleles are really having a moment as people's interest in the ukulele progresses. Anyway, that's a long intro to basically say we've got some cool ukes to look at today. We're going to start with one of my favourite Flight models, something that we've not featured for a couple of years. We're going to look at the Nighthawk. I have a Nighthawk tenor and a Nighthawk baritone for sound samples, but the Nighthawk baritone is a new release. So let's talk about that now. Here we have it, folks, one of the hardest ukuleles to film, which is perhaps why I don't talk about it as often as I should. This is a Nighthawk baritone. This has a solid spruce top with solid mahogany back and sides. Obviously, it's very hard to get without picking up our lights for the filming, but the top is a translucent black. They vary from delivery to delivery, although I will say that they are getting darker as time goes on. I know for a fact that there have been some finishing issues with black ukuleles in Chinese factories where the failure rate for a time had been quite high with quite a few different brands. So you'll see a lot of brands moving away from black. For example, Uma, Enya, who were doing black ukuleles all the time, and now they're kind of coming out more of a brown colour with a dark stain. But the Nighthawk has endured. You can just about see the wood grain on the top from the spruce, but the black on the back is a flat colour. It has electric blue binding and an electric blue cutaway scoop there for upper fret access with a simple abalone rosette. You have an Indian rosewood fingerboard and bridge with side dots, but they're not side dots, they're kind of cut out inlays, really cool as you go up the fingerboard, with a black Flight headstock with black open gear tuners. This baritone has a conventional baritone scale, just under 21 inches. Flight do like to have a kind of curvier, bigger baritone shape. They're definitely leaning towards the more tiny guitar, Vega principles of ukulele. If that makes no sense, let me give you the quick history of the baritone. When the baritone ukulele launched, it wasn't a Hawaiian invention. The baritone ukulele was invented and popularized, the right word, on the east coast of America. You had 2 companies making baritones at the same time, Favilla and Vega. Favilla baritones are like modern Ohana ukuleles. They have a kind of 19 to 20 inch scale. They're more like giant concert ukuleles. And then you have the bigger, more kind of bombastic baritone shape that's more popular, which is this bigger body with a wider, basically a fatter arse. This ukulele has a wider lower bout and a slightly longer scale, more like a tiny guitar. But you get different brands doing different things. I've noticed that actually the Hawaiian companies, Kamaka and Kanalea, their shape is somewhere in the middle. They've got kind of Hawaiian ukulele principles, but over a longer scale. There you go, history of the baritone ukulele and how we got here in, a minute and a half. The Nighthawk has pin bridges. The earlier models of the tenors had red dots. They've changed that now to a white mother of pearl dot on these bridge pins. These ukuleles have a pickup. You'll see there's a volume and tone control inside the sound hole, connected to a piezo pickup that runs on a CR2032 battery. Perfectly good pickup made by Double. both ukuleles here, the tenor and the baritone ready to go. Let's give the Nighthawk tenor and baritone a play and see what you think. Next up today, we're going to look at the Nomad. The Nomad is a new release at the more affordable end of the baritone scale. It's still all solid wood, so solid mahogany ukulele with simple black rosette and black front binding. They've not gone mad on the spec on this uke, and it is a step more affordable than the Aurora and a few steps more affordable than, say, a Fireball or a 4SBB. This has a traditional string-through bridge. It does still have fret dots, normal fret dots on an Indian rosewood fingerboard, going up to a normal paddle style headstock with gold open gear tuners. So definitely more like the Maya or the Aurora. You do still have a scoop cutaway there for upper fret access, and the back binding and the front binding are particularly thick, like thicker than you normally see on a ukulele. Very, very unique, very, very cool. Why would you go for this? Well, I guess it's for the same reason people go for the Carla Contour mahogany baritone. They're looking for a more traditional baritone sound. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the baritone ukulele isn't a Hawaiian thing. Like, historically, it's a more of an East Coast US thing. And the East Coast ukuleles, like the Martin ukuleles of this world, you know, they were made of mahogany. Mahogany is the kind of the koa of the mainland US, and as such, mahogany baritones have a very soulful, jazzy and traditional, nostalgic sound to them. So it makes sense that someone looking to get into the baritone ukulele for the first time might choose mahogany. And the Nomad fits a gap in the market. Lovely. It's kind of more competitively priced with a lot of solid top models and offers a little bit more for the money. I've been very, very impressed with it, actually. You know, on the wall the last last week and a half since it arrived, a lot of people are drawn to it because of the big thick binding, so there's something visually about it as well that gets people excited. I'm going to give the Nomad a play for you now and see what you think. Next up today we have the Flight Iris 8-string. This is a tenor 8-string, but there's a few things that make it a bit different to a Carla or an Ohana 8-string that we're more familiar with at this kind of price point. You have a solid spruce top stained black with laminate mahogany back and sides, front and back. I think it's cream binding, not maple binding, sorry. You have a satin mahogany neck and an Indian rosewood fingerboard and bridge with the chunkiest, thickest neck ever. This is a huge thick neck with a 45mm nut width. That's right, 45mm. Going up to the flight headstock with 8 open gear tuners. It's very, very light for an 8-string. Normally they're a bit more kind of thick, reinforced, and a little bit more aggressive in the hands, but this one is fantastic. I'm not going to delay. I'm just going to give this one a play for you now and see what you think. I'm struggling. I've not played an 8-string in a long time. Forgive me, forgive me. Yeah. I've not played an 8-string for a long time. I'm not painting myself in glory here. God, the neck is so chunky, I feel like I'm playing a guitar. Next up, we have a new release available in tenor and baritone size. This is the Flight Navigator. Now, I don't know if my lighting really does this justice. I'm going to try and turn it towards this light a bit, but wow, they all look so different, and I feel like this is Flight's way of looking at the Inui Nui Singer series and saying, yeah, we could do that. You know what I mean? It's about half the price of the Inui Nui Singer series, so well done Flight, because looks-wise, this really does tick all the boxes. You have a flamed maple top on all of these with solid rosewood back and sides, so solid maple and solid rosewood. Really winning combination. It's that kind of jumbo guitar, country and western of the 1930s and 40s vibe to it. But the sound these produce is gorgeous, like a really different sound to a lot of the other ukuleles in the Flight range. You know, when I say Flight range, you know, like that, they all have this look to them, that kind of inherent Flight look. But you keep thinking, oh, they're not going to introduce any more wood combinations, a bit like the Inui Nui Moonbird. And then when they do, you're like, oh, I really like this one. Maybe I like this one the most. I can't tell. You know what I mean? So these flame maple tops have a honey sunburst to them. It's not quite black, as you can see. It's kind of like a really dark red going to a flamed orange in the middle. They have a comfort armrest there on the side, like a beveled edge. And they have the Flight scoop, which is black, just there. You have an Indian rosewood fingerboard and bridge with triangular, almost like a kind of triangular inlays going up the fingerboard to the Flight headstock, which is coloured like the Sunburst. It's like a kind of reddish orange colour with the black parallel tuners, 38mm nut width. Black rosette. Is there binding? I can't actually tell in the dark here. Nope, there's no binding on this. It's just front black rosette with the white mother of pearl bridge pins. And then the baritone. Just want to show you one of these baritones. Look at that. Another exactly the same spec, just with a longer scale and a bigger body, but just really, really beautiful. A lovely looking ukulele and a really welcome addition to the Flight catalogue, as it were. Let's give the Navigator tenor and baritone a play and see what you think. God, this is lovely to play. Lovely, lovely sounding instrument. Finally today we're going to take a look at the 4-string boy baritone, the 4SBB. We're going to do sound samples of the 4SB tenor and the baritone back to back. But let's take a look at this new release from Flight and Sammy Turton, the 4-string boy. So this ukulele is the baritone version of the uke of the year for 2023. A year ago we made Sammy's uke the uke of the year, and every time we've had it, if we put one out on the wall, everyone asks about it. There's something iconic about this look and these woods together. Those woods are a solid spruce top stained black with a maple rosette. These figured maple rosettes are lovely. Front maple binding, and then you have more of this sported maple here in the cutaway. The cutaway is it's a really lovely shape on this ukulele, and you have these offset markers to help with harmonic playing, which is what 4-string boy is best known for. An Indian rosewood fingerboard and bridge with black bridge pins on this model. The front and back binding is lovely because it shows off that rosewood. The rosewood is a really nice chocolatey brown on all of these, and I just think a light coloured binding really offsets it nicely. You have a gloss body with a satin mahogany neck going up to more of this sported maple on the faceplate of the ukulele with the Flight logo, and then Sammy's 4SB inlay on the back. Now, no offense to Sammy, but I feel like sometimes this ukulele is more iconic than the player himself, because people came in over Christmas and they asked us if there's any way of getting this inlay off because someone's obviously done it in the factory. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point. Well, you can't say it. People don't know, do they? People aren't going to know. But it is funny how multiple people did the same thing there. And I think the inlay logo is actually really tastefully done. I really like it. So well done for your signature there, Sammy. You've got a very sexy signature. Let's give the 4SB and the 4SBB a play and see what you think. you have it, folks. We have looked at 8 Flight Ukuleles, many of them new releases for the tail end of 24, going into 2025. What are you looking forward to in 2025? Are you going to any uke events? Are you putting on a uke event? Are you coming to any of our in-stores? We have one on February 15th with Christopher David Shannon, Tyler 10 Thumbs Pro, Tara from the London Ukulele Project, and the Southern Ukulele Store Friday Jam Band will be closing out the event. That's on the 15th of February. I'll leave a ticket link in the description to this video. For now, though, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back very, very soon.